She's being too real. She just choked the shit out of me. So that's what you do to people?
Yeah, that's what they do to me too.
Give me the, matter of fact, just give me the, let's start from the top.
Okay, I see.
Who are you? If people don't know you, who are you?
So my name is Valerie Loretta.
Right, I know that part.
Born and raised in Miami, Florida. I started with Taekwondo when I was 2 years old.
You say it properly.
Taekwondo.
Yeah, because I say Taekwondo.
I say that too.
That's Korean martial arts, right?
It's a Korean martial art, yes. And I'm a 4th degree master in Taekwondo. So that's why my fight name's like Master Valerie Loretta, is because I've done it my whole life. Really? But that's because my father had a school and he forced me to do it. I was forced to do it. My mom was pregnant with me doing her black belt test. So it's just a family.
You were literally born into it.
I was literally born into it. I had no option. My dad put me into it intensely. So I was an intense Taekwondo fighter. At the same time, I did ice skating, ballet, piano, art. I did everything. And at the end, I just mixed into this.
Wait, hold on. You think your ballet and all that kind of stuff mixed into your fighting?
I was a ballerina intensely for 12 years and Taekwondo at the same time.
What?
And I think ballet was the best foundation for boxing anybody could have. Really? A lot of good dancers are amazing boxers because it's all shoulder movement and foot coordination, you know?
Wow, I never even thought of that. Because I heard like some football players take ballet.
Really?
To like, yeah, like.
And the stretching.
They try not to tell too many people. But I heard they take ballet for like the strength and like the balance. Man, so okay, so then you go into.
So then.
Well, other martial arts, I'm assuming, right? Did you do jiu-jitsu or anything else?
Listen to my story. So I was in Taekwondo. I was in Taekwondo.
This ain't Drink Champs, relax.
I was on the Olympic route intensely. I really wanted to go to Olympics. That was always my dream, to be an Olympian in Taekwondo. And that was my family's whole focus. I was traveling all over the world. I fought in an Olympic qualifier. I fought in a world championship in Korea, actually, in Muju, and I lost. And there was something with
Taekwondo. It's from Korea.
No, but...
No, man, it was the Olympics there, bro.
And not just that, like the Taekwondo body structure, you have to be very tall, long legs, because it's all electronic point system. And I saw that when I would fight, I was always trying to finish, like round kick to like hurt, or things like that. I always wanted to end it. And then MMA started getting popular and I still didn't like it. I was like, that's for savages, it's too brutal. I really didn't agree with it.
Oh, so MMA life is different than like Olympic Taekwondo.
Yeah, she's saying
completely.
More technical now.
Completely. Taekwondo's technical, like there's knockouts, but not really. You know, there's no punching to the face, it's to the chest. It's very point system. And I'm not a point system fighter.
Right.
And my dad is very like strong, like he's brutal. Whatever. So then I saw MMA, I was like, I refuse to do that. And then one day I met someone who knows Yoel Romero. Do you know Yoel? Cuban. And he was fighting, and we're like, oh, let's watch his fight at Duffy's. No, Yoel's.
He got in a fight at Duffy's, you said?
No, we went to watch his fight at Duffy's. No, we went to watch his fight at Duffy's, and there were just girls fighting in the prelims. And I just saw them for being recognized, for being martial artists, and I had dedicated my whole life to that. Right. And I just felt like goosebumps, and I was mad. Something about me was mad. The next day, I was like, I'm just gonna try jiu-jitsu for fun. And then I did it, and I fell in love with it, and from that day, I did not stop.
Taekwondo helps you, jiu-jitsu, all that stuff, ballet, all mixed in.
Everything. Right. Everything helps you in MMA. It's my self-defense against yours. And I mix, I create combinations in my mind, and if this doesn't work, then I try to take down. If that doesn't work, I take you to the ground. If that doesn't work, I stand you back up. It's crazy.
Yeah, stand you back up.
Yeah, right?
That didn't work? Come back up, let's do this.
You want to be on the ground, you tell the ref, hey,
One time,
get him up. And he gets up.
One time, there's a famous story. You know who the Wu-Tang Clan is?
Yes.
There's a famous story of this promoter, I think it was in Chicago, didn't have all their money. And they put him down to the ground. And then the famous part of the story is that they then picked him back up, wiped him off, and was like, you okay now? Okay, so you good? You got the money? So it's the same thing.
MMA.
Yeah, they were doing MMA.
That's the concept of mixed martial arts.
Man, so okay.
And it's getting very popular. I don't know if you noticed. It's the
and
fastest
the women,
growing sport.
I think is the best fights to watch are the women.
The thing with women is that we're feisty. You know, we're more aggressive. Men are very like passive. Women are like, ha, 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 you know? Yeah. And there's different weight classes. I fight 125. And even for that, I'm short because I'm 5'3" and the girls are like 5'6", but just skinny and tall. And I'm smaller and like stronger, you know?
Yeah.
But that's a wrestling base, and wrestling is the most important part of MMA.
Wrestling is the most important part.
Most important part.
Because it's all the submission at the end of the day. It's
No, but also wrestling is defending and getting taken down, or taking you down,
right.
you know? And then from there it turns into jiu-jitsu, grappling, you know? But you always start a fight on your feet.
I don't want to ever know.
No, it's hard. To get into the cage, you have to be different. Like, there's something about you that's different if you're able to see them close that and accept the fact that someone's gonna try to kill you. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. The ref is there to hold them from doing that.
Kill you.
Yeah.
But they are trying to.
Yeah, that's why you see when you're choked, a lot of guys don't tap it. You see him sleep, and the ref right away wakes him up and like moves his arm, and you're limbs.
You ever train with dudes?
Yeah, but like 125ers like me, you know? And training with a man is different than training with a woman. It's a different type of strength, you know? Right. That's why I train at where I train, because they have a lot of bodies for me to use, and that's how I get better.
This is not an appropriate question. But in the streets, if it goes down, you got my back? Like, you can handle some shit?
You better drink some more Monster if it goes down.
Sort
Like
of.
what have you ever?
Legally, you can't you? Legally, are you able?
So legally, having a black belt, like, you're a lethal weapon, you know? Your legs are weapon and stuff. But when it comes to self-defense, you have to defend yourself.
Okay, you and me go on a date. I know, hypothetical. I know, hypothetical. Just imagine it for a minute. We go on a date, we go get some, I don't know, what's a good restaurant in Miami?
I mean, whatever. Go to a Cuban restaurant.
Casawana.
Yeah, we go there. Oh, it's delicious. And some guys outside are acting up, and they start messing with you, and then they give me a little shove. I mean, I'm not a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you end up kicking their ass, are you then look down on me? Like,
No.
That sounded like a pathetic no. No, poor thing. When you call her the next morning, she doesn't pick up anymore.
But honestly, like, I've never had a physical confrontation outside of the sport, because I'm, like, when I go out, like, I don't like anybody to know what I do. It's like my secret, not secret, but it's weapon. Like my, like, talent that people don't know. I think about MMA for me like a beauty pageant. For as weird as it sounds, you know, you have your fight week, your meeting, and the day you have to show your talent is the day of the fight, you know, and you prepare 2 months for that. Like anything in the world, like football, they have their training camps, like things like that. So you prepare 10 weeks, you lose the weight, you have media week, and you fight, and that's your show. That's your time to shine. Yeah. And hope that you don't come out messed up.
Yeah, but you're gonna where I don't know anything about like the ranks or titles. Like, are you like?
So I'm ranked number 9 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Top 10?
Yeah, top 10.
And part of my ignorance, if I don't know what I'm talking about, are you getting like more popular? Like, do you get recognized more and stuff?
Yeah, so last year I had a viral moment. I don't know if you saw it, but...
I had a viral moment too. I had COVID.
Oh.
You had COVID?
I had COVID
that went
too.
viral?
I had COVID too, by the way. Right after that fight.
I just got it. I'm an idiot.
Viral comes from virus.
Yes, viral virus. But
all right, go ahead. Yeah, viral moment.
last year, COVID started and it started like in March. And then Bellator had held off, and they're like, hey, Valerie, we're gonna have a show, no fans, you wanna fight? I'm like, sure. Make money, you know, go recognition. Nobody else had anything to do. We were the only sport playing. And I just went, it was this girl that she was really disrespectful, for real. Like, she was disrespecting me in the sense, like, saying that I can't be a woman and do TikToks and be a fighter and, like, all of this. When at the end of the day, I just do this to show that you could be feminine and you could be good in your sport. You know, you don't have to have a certain stereotype. I was raised differently, you know? So that's my goal. But besides that, I went to fight, and I really had a lot of resentment for this girl. And I knocked her out, whatever. But I knocked her out with a hook, but that wasn't what went viral. What went viral was my Cuban dance after, because I walked out to La Negra Tiene Tumbado from Celia Cruz. I'm like, I can't go, whatever. And I just started doing salsa. And when I looked, it was like viral. I went up 600,000 followers overnight, like this.
Knocked her out.
Yes. I knocked her out, and then I started salsa. But my mentality for that was, she criticized so much my TikToks and being feminine and stuff. I just knocked her out. I'm gonna make a TikTok right next to her like that. But they didn't have the music, so I had to improvise. And then
damn, she made it to your TikTok.
yeah, because I'm aggressive. Like, I don't know. I know you don't see me like that now, but I really transform when against the cage, and I think that's my superpower.
That's how, I mean, I don't want to compare myself to you at all, but I'm like a cool, laid back, chill guy, but then when I DJ, it's like a switch.
That's your martial art?
No, but it's true. No,
and I
it's
go
true.
crazy. And I beat people up with the music.
Have you done martial arts ever?
Okay, no, but I've had this dream, I don't know, I always wanted to do Kung Fu, right?
Okay.
Always wanted to do
Watching
it.
the movies on Sundays?
Yeah, a little bit, but also like I really like respected like when people talk about, yeah, Bruce Lee and even when RZA talks about Kung Fu, like the discipline of it and the way it seems to like channel energy and all that, right? So I went like, I went like 3 or 4 times in my life to the Shaolin Temple in New York. And I always wanted to do it. I got the brochure, I went, I signed up.
You went to a summer camp?
Class schedule.
I got the class schedule.
Uniform.
I didn't buy the uniform, I was supposed to get it.
No, nunchucks.
Did you shave your head? Did you shave your head? You went in and said, I'm ready, master.
You guys are mocking me. You know better. No, I went and I signed up, and then it was like always like when I was on the radio, the time wouldn't work. And then when I was on the road, the timing wouldn't work. And then I had kids, and every time I went to go sign up and it didn't work, and now I'm like, nah, I can't do it now.
Oh.
I'm too old now.
No, you're not.
I can't be there.
I think you should do it.
Here's another problem I have with martial arts. I can't stand all the bare feet.
What? Oh, you're one of those guys?
I can't be in there with a bunch of dudes with just kicking feet in my face.
Maybe that's the reason why you start blocking them.
So funny.
Put that in your mind.
You know, my whole life I've been barefoot on a mat, and it's funny you bring that up because the other day I was like, I could do anything barefooted. Like I'd rather run, I'd rather do everything barefoot because I've been my whole life on the mat, my whole life.
Yeah, the whole life you've been on the mat. I always try to wear socks on the mat, and then they're like,
You can't do that. You're in a slave.
You need to buy those socks for like the trampoline place.
Oh, the ones with the grip on the bottom. Yeah.
socks with yoga. I just keep falling and stuff.
That's funny.
So look, I'm gonna tell you my martial arts story, which is terrible, and it goes kind of with the Taekwondo stuff. Is I did karate as a kid, wanting to be a ninja. That's all I ever wanted to be. I grew up on G.I. Joe, Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes. So I was dead ass to be a ninja. So I did karate because that was Japanese martial arts, and that's what the ninjas did. So then my parents divorced. We couldn't afford karate classes, so I go to this free Taekwondo class. I'm not saying it the way you say it, the correct way. Little did I'm here, and then the Karate Kid comes out. What does the Karate Kid wear? Because his teacher's Japanese. No, he wears the headband with the flag of the Japanese flag. So I'm a little kid. I don't know the history between these two countries. I go to this free Taekwondo class thinking I'm continuing my martial arts career here. And I'm like, yeah, and I wear my bandana.
Japanese one?
The Japanese joint. I go. Bro, this instructor, he came up to me screaming in my ear, put me on my knees, took the thing off, threw it on the ground, stepped on it, spit on it. I'm like trying to hold my tears back because there's a whole class. And then he's like, get out of my sight.
Wow.
That was the end of Taekwondo. And then he left.
I took the class.
The fuck that class, man. I would have loved to have stayed in karate and not have to deal with that part of it, but
Very traumatic situation.
Yeah, it's safe to say I never became a ninja. Not a Japanese one or a Korean one.
Oh, I'm very sorry you guys had bad martial art experiences,
I
but
really-
it's not all like that.
I really, really, really respect it, and I wish I could do it. Maybe one day. I need someone to fight.
You should fight DJ Khaled.
Huh? He's not my enemy.
No, but I'm just saying it'd be a good matchup.
Yeah, like the TikTokers versus you.
And then you guys DJ and do it like a sound clash afterwards.
Well, he doesn't DJ much anymore. I'll definitely kill him in that aspect.
Actually, I want to ask you, when you're preparing for a fight and you're doing meal prep, I'm assuming, is it difficult to stay away from Cuban food?
Yes, me pastelitos and stuff. That's what I love. I was born every morning. My grandma would come and she made me café con leche with mi pan tostado, you know?
Or the rice with the huevito?
Yeah, you know? But you can't. You can't. You really can't.
It's pretty terrible food when you really think about it. Unless your grandma's making it, because old school people, for some reason, they make clean food.
Yeah.
But once we got older, that food's terrible.
Have you ever been to Cuba?
No, I haven't.
Have you?
Yeah, been twice.
I want to go. They say it's fun.
It's beautiful.
I want to go.
Yeah, and the people is what's beautiful
I'm the
about
only
it.
Cuban girl fighting in the world right now.
Really?
I'm the only one.
Really?
With all the Cuban girls fighting all over Miami, you're the only one fighting professionally?
Tell all the ratchet Cuban girls, like, hey, what you're doing is a skill, and you can make money off of it. Like, get in.
Learn the discipline.
There's something about the Cuban wrestling background and this and that. It's just different for one.
What, there's a Cuban wrestling?
Yeah, Cuban wrestling is
Really? What's that?
Like from Cuba?
Cuban wrestling is a certain style.
There's certain things they do that you could label that that's Cuban wrestling.
Cuban style wrestling. Yeah.
And it goes back to Cuba though, that originally, like,
Over there.
not some guy in Hialeah that's like, this is Cuban wrestling.
No, this goes back in Cuba, and over there, like, their athletes are very good. They just don't have the resources, you know, to really make it out of there. Like, those people, you go over there for a training camp, you will get killed. They're amazing athletes, very young, a lot of potential, and very hard training, like brutal.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, that's all they do.
Yeah. That's all they do. En la escuela, la universidad, allá de...
You know what I love about any like fights or like, well, yeah, fights and anything in that fighting world, the walkout music. It seems like to pick the right song to represent. Because I DJ'd a fight once, but it was small. Yeah, it was for Rock Nation. It was like they had like, I guess there's like underground boxing before it goes to like the big. So like all the fighters had like very specific music, and they would like play it from this part because they walk out. It's like a show. So what do you like to walk out to?
So my first fight, I walked out to the original Rocky, like, I know, super mainstream, but no, it was the Overture. You know what I'm talking about? Like the original classic. And it was epic. It was like dun 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 dun. dun. I was like, and that was in the Mohegan Sun. My second fight was in Madison Square Garden. Imagine. Wow, so
second fight ever.
My second fight ever. You don't know the pressure they put me. I was freaking out. But I walked out to Jenny from the Block. Yes, because we're in New York, the Bronx, so they were super cute. Who has walked out to Jenny from the Block? Only Battery. And then my third fight, I walked out to Celia Cruz, La Negra Tiene Tumbao, which was incredible to me because that's my culture. I felt like everybody in Miami was watching me, supporting me. I'm the only girl that they're behind. So I loved the families, like after I see the text stories, all the families dancing with me and stuff, and I walk out and I salsa and everything, and then I take off my dobak because I walk out with my uniform and then I get ready to fight, you know? But that mentally just prepares me, like, I have all these people from my culture watching me, and you know, I was chosen to represent it. And then my last fight, I walked out to Gloria Stefan Conga.
See, I like you're all over the place. So you're what we call, like, if we were to make we're gonna do your next fight for training, we're gonna do a Cypher Sounds DJ EFN fight mixtape. But you're in like an open format zone. You're not one thing. You
can pick 4 tracks, I'll pick 4 tracks.
For her?
Yeah.
Okay. Suavemente.
Oh my God.
Can I explain? Can I finish? Can I finish? I have Suavemente, a remix that gets real hype and it turns into a trap beat. So it's like Suavemente, so she can practice. It's for speed. It's for this.
Okay.
Then I would do Elephant Man.
Have you been hearing the songs that she likes?
I'm getting to it. Watch me get to it. I tell you, I don't do typical. I'm doing Elephant Man, the Super Dupes remix, because it has the Gloria Stefan beat in the background. Everybody, shake your body. Run it to the beat. And then Elephant Man is like, rotor boat, mad guitar, do all the dances, you know what I mean? So you got all the reggae dances mixed in.
Maybe that one. I like that.
Oh, maybe in a K-pop song. We throw in a K.
Oh, to go with the taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Yeah, it'll go.
Oh, you like their fighting, but you don't like their music. Wow.
I never said I was Korean.
I know, but the K-pop is worldwide now.
Oh, shit.
What would you choose?
Yeah, my selection for your mixtapes, which are gonna be boring, are Cypress Hill, If I Could Just Kill a Man. Have you ever heard of that record?
Oh, she should.
And they happen to be Cuban.
Oh.
They're from LA, they happen to be Cuban, so you know, there's some relation.
I like
there.
that.
Then let me think.
But they walk backwards in the video, so you should walk backwards into the ring.
He'll be the coordinator.
Yeah, no, you're like the producer.
Yeah, I am.
The choreographer.
Then we gotta go Redman, Time for Some Action. Okay. Come on, that's a great one. Great one.
And a good, see, it's a good DJ. Because the sample from Time for Some Action is from How I Could Just Kill a Man.
I mean, I played that all the time, so that's my mix already in my head. Celia Guantanamera.
Guantanamera, yeah.
And
The
then,
trap version.
no, man, the regular version. No.
Some original,
I'll
right?
come in with the and then you're next to me in the other turntable.
You gotta put the 808. You gotta put the boom, boom.
And let's see the last one. Oh man, that Colombian artist. No Le Pega La Negra? What's that record called?
I
love that record. That's one of my favorite records of all time.
What is it? What song?
I don't know what the actual name of the song is.
But I know exactly what you're talking about.
She's way more excited about your list. You'll fight anybody.
My weight.
Yeah, in your weight. But I'm saying like,
My weight. I'll fight you.
you won't. There's nobody you'll stay away from. Like whoever.
Well, I'm not gonna. There's girls that are tough. There's girls that have been doing this for a lot longer than me. There's girls that are more experienced than me. You know, I chose for the world to see my development from a young age in this sport, and I put myself in that position. But, you know, there's a time and place for everything, and my time is coming, you know? I just got into the sport so quick and got good fast, and got my contract that I have, like, I did that in a year, fighting amateur. It was crazy. I was waitressing 2 years ago. Like,
Where?
In Tijuana Taxi in Coral Springs, up north.
Nobody messed with you there either, right? Hit him with a.
They didn't know. They didn't know.
Hey, what's up, cutie? Bam! He's like, oh.
But yeah. 2 years ago, I was there. I did amateur. I did a viral fight as an amateur, and then Bellator offered me the best contract out of everybody. They picked me up. They gave me a bonus. I was like, wow. And that was it.
Man, you're awesome. That's great. You're awesome. Take it.
Congrats
Take
on
these
everything.
flowers.
Thank you.
She's awesome. Tell her she's awesome.
Oh, she's amazing.
Thank you. You're awesome.
And she's Cuban.
Awesome.
She's Cuban, B.
Right, we got the Cuban part. That's been established.
Begin to tell the story of how great love can be, the sweet love story that is older than the sea, the simple truth about the love he brings to me. Where do I start? Like a summer rain that cools the pavement with a patent leather shine, he came into my life and made the living fine, and gave a meaning to this empty world of mine. He fills my heart, he fills my heart with very special things, with angel songs, with wild imaginings. He fills my soul with so much love that anywhere I go, I'm never lonely with him along. Who could be lonely? I reach for his hand, it's always there.
What is so important about loving faster than everyone else?
How long does it last? Can love be measured by the hours in a day? I have no answers now, but this much I can say: I'm going to need him till the stars all burn away, and he'll be there. He fills my heart who could be lonely. I reach for his hand, it's always there. How long does it last? Can love be measured by the hours in a day? I have no answers now, but this much I can say. I'm going to need him till the stars all get away. And he'll be there.
June 24, 1948, an early Cold War crisis as the Soviet Union cuts off all land and water routes between West Germany and what's then West Berlin. It's an attempt to force the United States and its Western allies to abandon the city amid Soviet expansion across Eastern Europe. But the U.S. and its allies organize a massive airlift of supplies into West Berlin, and the blockade ends the next year. 1895. Jack Dempsey, world heavyweight boxing champ and a sports icon during the early 20th century, is born in Manassas, Colorado. And 1987.
You haven't got any sense of humor.
Oh, yes, I do. I married you, didn't I?
Comedian and actor Jackie Gleason, known as the Great One, dies at his home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Gleason, star of the early TV classic sitcom The Honeymooners, was 71. Today in history, June 24th. Carlotta Bradley, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,